Join Kristy and me as we make adulthood look easy. Just kidding. It's actually hard, but we will give you some secrets to finding the joy in the journey.
So, welcome back. This is our third episode with Kristy, and she's the glow, and I'm Michelle, I'm the flow.
Really the flow. We're so excited to be here with you. This is so much fun. So much fun getting to talk through
all kinds of things, and we really need this. This is kind of we call it our therapy, to come together, and it's really important to have friends to do that. So we thought we would share this with you all, and today's topic is going to be...
Well, what did we decide? We decided that we're going to talk about
friendships. Again, it's our theme. We have this ongoing theme because so many of us especially at this age, are struggling with loneliness and connecting with people. A lot of us, including myself, my parents have passed, and now I'm taking care of grandchildren and children. How about you?
Yeah, same. I mean,
you have a full-time business, you're trying to keep afloat. So it's really hard to make those connections. And we're here sharing how we're muddling through life and making those connections and how we found each other.
Yeah. And how much of yourself do you want to share? When is it appropriate? How do you build those relationships and those bonds? Do you even want to? And then you'll get burned. And then you're like, why did I ever even do that?
Right.
Like, what's the value of this in my life? There's like 1,000 things we could.
I'm all about oversharing. I know there's a lot of us out there. I can ride an elevator with a stranger and become best friends by the time we make it to our designated floor.
Which is very similar. Or like my kids actually get really mad because we were checking out at the grocery store and it's like, you didn't need to find out their whole life story, Mom. In fact, they probably didn't want to know yours. And I was like, I don't think that's true. I think they had the best experience of their day.
Why can't we be like that? There's so many rules.
I don't like, neither of us really like rules.
We're not rules followers. No.
Yeah. So the glow and the flow, except for I hate getting in trouble. Do you like to get in trouble?
I don't know if I get in trouble anymore.
Right? You just don't get caught?
I don't know. Maybe someone would have to point it out to me. What would be a case of getting in trouble? I have a big mouth and I talk too much. So I guess that is just a lifetime of always putting my foot in my mouth, so I'm used to it.
Yeah,
there hasn't been a large enough consequence to make me stop.
Well, that's great, right? Like me, I guess I just don't want to get busted. Not following the rules, but that's totally different than friendship. I guess we are our own judge. There are rules in society, though, that could be potentially like owning a business for small children.
Oh.
I could get in trouble being a little too free, making decisions that maybe just doesn't reflect positively on what I'm doing for my career.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like things like that. Even just as simple.
Fuck that.
Fuck that. I would agree.
I'm 55. I'm going to bring that up a lot because I'm really proud of it.
I like being older too.
I got here, and I'm really proud that I got here. Many people don't, and it's kind of like a video game to me, and I'm like, wow, I made it. I got another decade. Woohoo! And I learned that now that I'm 55, I qualify for senior discounts.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Because does she look like a senior?
I do.
mean, honestly.
I'm totally down with it because I get even a discount at Walgreens, 20%.
Do you really?
Everything. So
I can't wait.
There's so much privilege that comes with becoming older. I mean, that's not including feeling like you're socially visible because you're not.
You're still not socially visible.
I think, you don't feel socially, because I feel like,
or do your age,
like you stand out, like you'll walk into a room and people are like, dang.
Do you feel like that?
No, I feel socially invisible. So therefore, this mouth and what I do, no one cares. No one gives a shit.
I don't agree. Isn't that wild? Okay, so help me understand this. So you think you are not socially visible?
No.
Do you think you're socially audible?
No. I think I'm going to have to be if I want to have a podcast that works. But I'm hoping that our listeners will see vulnerability and see the mistakes or the things that I'm doing or maybe the things you're talking about and go, wow, if they're doing it, I'm way ahead of that and I'm going to be great. But I don't, I feel, and it is true. Definitely, I've been in work groups in the last year and there were 20 somethings, 30 somethings, and they're all sitting in the same group and we're supposed to be doing a project together. I felt like my voice was drowned out every single time. Made fun of.
Isn't that odd?
Yeah, even while my kids do it. It's like I said, that's why I don't feel the hand slap that other people do, because for the last 5 years, especially, I feel like I have been socially invisible in work groups, in the workplace.
How do you change that?
I don't know if I care enough.
Fair.
Just, I don't give a shit. And I guess it's kind of like my eyesight is going as I'm getting older. And I feel like nature has a plan because all the things that are happening in my face, like with the wrinkles and stuff, I always look good to myself. Like, dang, you killed it today. I can't see it because I have to wear bifocals, but I can't see what you can see. So it's lost on me. I don't care.
Perception is reality.
Perception is reality. I do not have the hangups I had up to my face for sure. I couldn't go outside of the house without checking out my outfit 2 or 3 times. But now I'm like, I'm lucky if I take a shower every few days.
Yeah, right, exactly. I feel like I've struggled with my appearance and how other people viewed me, like physically, beautifully, like all of that my whole life. And just in the last 5 or 6 years, but see, that's 6 years ago, maybe 7 now, is when I was like going through my divorce. And that journey, I was like, why does it matter what other people think? Like, you don't have to be beautiful to be loved.
Okay.
And that was a huge eye-opening thing. And then it was like, wait a minute.
Where did you get that?
Which part?
Not feeling like you had to be beautiful to be loved.
I don't know.
It just was innate in you.
No, I don't know. That's a good question. Like, probably going back through history and seeing, all of the times we've been validated for being beautiful or being, attractive or.
So you got like a reward, an instant reward where maybe you were feeling invisible, and then you kept getting like
validation,
and like, wow, you look good, and you weren't. Oh, I like that.
Well, it's attention.
Yeah, you like the attention, so you kept. I remember feeling like that at some point in my life for sure, but my upbringing was different.
But not necessarily feeling valued then.
I didn't know.
Right. So, but then how did we find our value and our worth? And I think I go to therapy every week and I see a spiritualist, and I feel like we're always growing and learning, and doing things like this with you are helping us become who we want to be. Right.
Yeah.
And I think I've lost the whole point of my whole message. Yeah, but that's okay. That's ADD in a beautiful form. But I think we're growing into learning to love ourselves.
Yeah.
I didn't love myself forever. And it was because you can't get it all from the outside.
You said that beautifully. You didn't lose I get what you were saying. You're seeing a therapist, you're seeing a spiritualist, you're saying you're still trying to find that part in you that is lovable. It doesn't have to be on the outside. That's worthy. That's interesting because
do you feel lovable?
I feel absolutely
worthy
amazing.
Of love? Did you always feel like that?
No, I am definitely, I don't know. I don't know what has happened to me, but I definitely wake up feeling great. I hardly ever wake up and I'll touch my face and I'm like, dang, those whiskers.
I don't have whiskers yet.
I have thoughts of like, I wonder when I'm out if people are fixating on my beard or my mustache.
Girl, I've never seen that. Like,
that's my beauty regimen. I'm like, oh, and today, like every time you come, I make sure that since we're doing this, I get dressed to go to work.
How does that make you feel? Different than your other days?
I feel like I'm getting dressed to go to work because other days I will not. I'll put on my sweatpants and everything's hanging low. I didn't wash my face.
Right.
My hair is back in a bun. I don't.
That's how I live every day.
So
I
it's
mean,
not
pretty
necessarily that I do it because I want to look pretty. I do it because I want to look professional. And if I feel professional, I feel like I'll be my best version of myself. But I lost, if my husband's probably pissed, but I lost that ability to go, I'm going to get all dressed up and feel my, when we go out, and we've had those a couple times we went out, I want to get dressed up to be with you
for the experience.
So
I think how we dress, if we put time and effort into us, that's how we can feel something. Yeah. So I will, I think we talked about this before. We'll wear bright colors or happy things. That is true. Yes. Yeah. Or fun socks. Or a nice new tattoo or pretty nails or smell good. Everybody's different. I love smells. I like to smell warm, and I make my own oils and
okay, that's comforting to you.
Yeah. And it's all those little things create an atmosphere of joy and peace. And I wear sweatpants / I don't actually wear sweatpants. I wear yogas every single day.
And I look good on you. Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess that's subjective, right? But but I feel fit and I feel strong, and that's what I want to focus on instead of being beautiful. I want to be powerful and strong and have a voice and worthy of others.
Worthy
connection.
See, that's something I lost. I think I lost it when my parents died.
The need to feel worthy, or you already know you are worthy because you exist?
Well, wow, that is deep.
Sorry.
I felt my how I was brought up had a lot to do with what built me to be who I am. And when my parents died, it was the best thing that happened to me. The worst thing when my dad died, I missed him horribly, but growing up in foster care and bouncing houses and never feeling valued, I always was chasing that in a whole different, space. So then when my parents died, I just, instead of me always feeling like I was a throwaway, all of a sudden I was like, I could finally just be who I was supposed to be. I don't know. Just something came over me. The worst in my life has happened, and the only thing I have is gratitude. And I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful. And when I think of the people that mentored me and I loved, I never thought of them as sexy. I never thought of them as being beautiful.
Never. When you say that, it's helping my perspective.
My grandma was 200 pounds, and she was so pissed that she was always dealing with this weight issue. And all I can remember was, oh, Grandma, you smell so good. Oh, you had the best hugs. Oh, and sitting next to her and just admiring her. The people that I admired developed who I wanted to be, because I wanted to be admired because I was loved for my presence, which is something my parents didn't make me feel.
Yeah.
And now I feel that, you being here, I'm so excited to be with you.
I'm not it's so fun.
I'm not going, oh, wow, my hair was in a certain way or whatever.
Well, because we don't even think about it or see it or notice it or I wouldn't even know if you took a shower.
No, but she always gives me nice compliments.
It's true, because I wish I had hair, and you have amazing hair. So, but that conversation you just talked about, when I was tucking my youngest daughter into bed last night, I'm like, what's wrong? What's wrong? Because I really feel other people's energies, their emotions. And she's like, I'm just really sad. I'm like, why are you sad? What's going on? She's like, I miss Grandma. And I'm like, okay, so if you had 1 minute to see her, what would you say? What would you do? What are you really craving and missing? And she's like, I just want her squishy hugs. And my mom was a big lady, a big woman,
right? Over
300 pounds her whole life, maybe a few times, whatever. But we don't think about what she wore or what she looked like, or did she do her makeup. I remember she used the same lotion my whole life, and that smell, Vaseline Intensive Care, totally a nasty lotion. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But when you hugged her, you knew you were a part of her. So that's who I want to be.
That's what I want to be.
Yeah, but the second I have to go out into the world, it's like, well, does my boyfriend find me attractive? Does this look good on me? Oh, my stomach looks so fat. Oh, I'm standing in this picture. I got to stand sideways. Why? I'm an example. I do some personal training. It's like, I have to look the part
Yeah.
Or I'm almost 50. Look at my face and my wrinkles. Like, I want people to say that my daughter looks like my sister. And like, where does that piece fit in with who I really actually want to be?
You're right. And I've been every part of that. I know I have. I think I just gave up. It's like it's just this natural progression. It's like I remember the last time I put on a bikini and I look good in it. And I used to have it.
This summer, she looked
No.
great in your pool.
I'm
Yes,
talking,
you did.
I'm talking about like where I worked out because I used to be a runner. I used to do all that. And I remember, wow, and going, I'm not going to have this forever. Enjoy this moment and be okay with transitioning because this doesn't last forever. My favorite couples, which was, I don't know if you ever watch it, Roseanne Barr.
Yeah, Dan.
Yeah,
His
those.
husband.
I'm not saying that they were the best couple. My favorite couples like that I saw on TV, and again, a lot of the people that I learned how to be a parent from were people on TV, and they were always the women that had weight on them, and the husband adored them. The marriage lasted. And it's the relationships that didn't last were built on a house of cards where both people were pretty and they were looking for outside validation or money validation or any of that. The relationships that lasted were the parents sitting on the couch eating too many potato chips, having a barbecue, house a mess, nothing matching in the house. If you would think of those sitcoms, those are the ones we love.
Truly, yeah.
Where people can just let their hair down and be and leave the ego at the door. And that's what I want for my grandchildren. I want them to think of what I smelled like or how I try to purposely every time even though they're little, I try to wear comfy clothes so they want to just snuggle up to me. So I think that's how that transition happened. You're not ready for that. Even though you're like, we're close, we're not close in age. She says, we're not.
I'm almost 49. So
It's not the same.
I'm still the child in the relationship.
You're still the child. We all have our journey.
I agree.
You're just not, that's why we can't compare ourselves, and it is something that you value and it's important to you, just like going on trips. I'm not a trip taker.
Oh, I love going on trips.
That's where you come alive.
Yeah. Sunshine, beaches, ocean, connection. Like I crave connection.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the start of our conversation about friendships and connections. And like, I don't like to have deep conversations tying it all together. I don't enjoy small talk.
Right.
Like, in groups of people where they're A, talking about other people, or B, just talking about the weather, or other crazy. It feels like a waste of my life.
Yes.
And my minutes. So I love this because we're talking about real stuff that really matters.
Yeah. So basically keep scrolling if deep talk and growth is not your thing. We are not going to be talking about other people here. We are not going to be putting anybody down except ourselves.
I was going to say, we have enough stuff with just our own lives.
That's it.
And no need to judge yeah.
Yeah. So that it does make for small circles.
It does. Yeah. It really, really does. And then being vulnerable, I feel like I'm always way too vulnerable with everyone. And sometimes it makes people feel uncomfortable when I'm like, share too much. But it's like, no, this is me and this is my journey. And when I'll tell people that, experiences I've had, they'll be like, oh my God, probably thinking, why is she telling me this? But it's like, because this is me. Right. And I'm not perfect. I'm the furthest from it. I have
never known you to share too much.
I don't think so.
I think that's a really important lesson. I don't mean to dwell on my age, but I have had a lot of bad experiences with relationships growing up and bouncing schools, when I was a child and all the things, 12 different schools, moved every 2 years, all that. So I always met different people. No matter what circle I went to, there was always the same group of people. There was always like the preppies, and there was always the people that were the sports people or whatever. And they're all, trying to find their space. And then there was the outliers who would be a Kristy or a Michelle. I never, even if I grew up in the same home, I don't think I'd be in those groups. I would still be Michelle. And the problem is that there's not a space for us. Where, hey, let's go talk philosophy. Let's talk about how we can change the world. There isn't a spot for that. And so people that are deep thinkers like us tend to feel like there's something wrong with us.
Yeah. My daughter called me from school, was messaging me from school last week saying, and she's in 7th grade, I don't have anywhere to go for lunch. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't have anywhere to go to lunch? She's like us. She's like evolved for her age and really a deep thinker. She's a good person. She doesn't want to gossip about other people. She said, there's no lunch table with people that I want to sit with because I don't want to these kids are mean. These kids are talking about other people, whatever she was saying. And she said, I went to the science teacher and she said that her class was too full for lunch. And she's like, so I don't know what to do. And I'm like, can you go to the social worker's office? And she's like, well, all the kids, that are already in there, I don't want to be awkward. So now she can't go to the one safe place. She's like, I'm just going to go to the bathroom and eat in the lunchtime. And if you met her, she's outgoing, will speak to anybody, any adult, and she has nowhere where she fits, just like what you said.
And it starts probably in middle school, guys, because, hey, that's where we feel, actually the parents are putting so much pressure on the kid. Like, this is going to be the best time ever. You're going to go to dances, you're going to have this social life, and everything's going to be great. And this kid goes there and is like, it's not happening. I don't feel like this isn't great. I am not feeling it. And the parents are like, but have you made a friend today? And they're like, not really. And then they're too embarrassed to tell us that they're sitting in the bathroom because the group of kids are the one that are hanging out together. They probably are part of a sports team or they've got that connection and maybe that is there. But what about the ones that are just, hey, I just want to do well in school. I love my parents.
Yeah, my mom is the coolest.
My mom is the coolest. I mean, that does happen. And then what do you do? We need to train people that it's okay to have one friend or not.
Yeah. What do you do though? So what do you think is the value of having a friend?
Let's stop that right there.
I had to stop recording after Kristy's question. What is the value of a friend? We actually found this a very hard question to answer. What do you think? Join us on our next episode to continue the friend discussion. Please feel free to join the conversation on Facebook or even TikTok. See you there.